I don't care how much it cost. I need anything, everything useful.
Of all men, you chose to marry my uncle?
Marry me, Tola. That will be your sweetest revenge.
Hey guys, welcome back to Munlet Stories, where we bring you juicy and amazing tales straight from the heart. Now grab a glass of wine, sit back, and let's give you some juicy gist. Don't forget to leave a comment, hit like, subscribe, and join the circle, because here at Munlet Stories, every story begins with you. One evening, Jun sat in a bar with an old friend, Woo Jin, who worked in finance. "You look finished," Woo Jin said, sipping his drink. "What happened? Bad numbers?" "It's worse," Jun replied. "My uncle married my ex-girlfriend." Woo Jin choked. "You are joking." "I wish," Jun said. "She was nobody. A foreign girl. I used her ID once for a loan. Now she is living in my family house as madam." Woo Jin whistled. "That is messy." Jun leaned forward. "Do you still know the guy who arranged that loan? The one who connects people and private lenders?" Woo Jin asked. "Yes." "Why?" "I need every record of that deal," Jun said. "Messages, transfer logs, anything. I want proof that she knew what she was doing that night." Woo Jin frowned. "Why? You already cleared it, right? Your uncle took it." Jun's eyes hardened. "I need to show my family who she really is. I need them to see she is not innocent. Then Hyung will drop her, and things will go back to normal." Woo Jin shook his head. "This is dangerous. If it goes wrong, you will be the one exposed." "I don't care," Jun said. "Help me." Reluctantly, Woo Jin made the call. 2 days later, Jun sat in a small office above a loan agency, facing the middleman who had handled Tolani's case. "You remember her?" Jun asked, sliding a photo of Tolani across the table. The man looked at it and smirked. "Ah, the Nigerian girl. Sweet face. Very scared that night." Jun's jaw tightened. "Do you still have the agreement? The messages?" "Of course," the man said. "I keep everything. It protects me." "Why do you want it?" "I want copies," Jun said. "All of it. I will pay." Money changed hands. Screenshots were sent. Old voice notes were dragged out. Jun telling the man he had a girl ready. The man confirming the room number. A short recording of Tolani's shaking voice saying, "I agree," to the terms, before she entered the deal. Jun listened with a twisted smile. "With this," he said, "they will stop seeing her as a victim." Back at Kong Group, he started his attack quietly. He dropped hints near some board members. "Hyung's wife has a past," he said in soft, sad tones. "I am not judging her, but I worry for the company image." He accidentally left his phone open with a blurred screenshot when a cousin sat beside him. He told Madam Kong half-truths. "Grandmother, I know you love Hyung, but this girl, she has done things. If people find out, they will laugh at our family." The old woman's eyes narrowed. "What things?" "I can't say everything yet," he replied. "I just don't want you to get hurt when the truth comes out." He knew those words would sit in her mind like a seed. At the office, small rumors began. "Did you hear director's wife was involved with some shady loan deal before?" A staff murmured. "They say she agreed to something for money," another added. Nobody said Tolani's name out loud, but eyes started to follow her. She felt it. The sudden quiet when she walked into a room. The quick cough when she looked up. The fake smiles. At home, she tried to act normal. She served soup to Madam Kong, sat beside Minjun, and talked about work. But a knot was forming in her chest. One night, Nina called. "Babe, be careful," Nina said. "Someone from your office told me there are whispers about your past. They don't know details yet, but Jun's name came up." Tolani's hand went cold around her phone. "He has something planned," Nina said. "He is not done." Tolani looked toward the study, where Minjun was working late. Jun had lost ground, and he was striking back the only way he knew how. By dragging her story into the light, twisted in his favor. And this time, if she stayed silent, he would not just shame her. He would try to shake the whole foundation of her marriage. The blow came on a Monday. Tolani arrived at work and felt at the moment she stepped out of the elevator. Eyes. Too many eyes. Some curious, some busy pretending not to look. She went to her desk, turned on her computer, and tried to breathe. At 10 in the morning, an email went out. Emergency full-floor meeting. All team leads and key staff. Conference room 2. Her supervisor touched her shoulder. "Tolani, you will take minutes," she said. "Bring your notebook." Tolani followed everyone into the room. The air felt heavy. The long table was almost full. On one side sat some senior managers. On the other, a few board members. Madam Kong was there too, in a simple jacket, her face set. At the head of the table, Minjun. Jun sat a few seats down, phone in front of him, expression serious but sharp. Tolani took a chair near the wall, notebook open, pen ready. Her hands shook slightly. Minjun spoke first. There have been rumors, he said. About my wife. About this company's image. Today we will address it. Not in corners. Here. A murmur went around the room. One board member cleared his throat. Director Nim, some of us received information. We thought it was best to show you first, but it has already spread. What information? Minjun asked. All eyes turned to Jun. He stood slowly, like someone forced to do something painful. I did not want to bring this here, he began. She was once important to me. But this is Kong Group. We must protect our name. Tolani's chest tightened. Jun tapped his phone. A small screen at the front of the room lit up with pictures and files. Before she married my uncle, he said, Tolani took a private loan in her name. Not just any loan. A quiet, dangerous one. With special conditions. He clicked again. On the screen, there was a blurred screenshot of the loan agreement with her name. Another click. A voice note played through the speakers. Tolani heard her own voice from months ago, shaking and small. I agree, the voice said. I will go for one night. Please clear the debt. The room went very still. Her face burned. Her fingers dug into the notebook. Jun looked sad. This is my ex-girlfriend, he said. I am not proud of this. But she agreed to sell herself for one night. Now she is the wife of our director. If the press gets this, they will not say poor girl. They will say Kong Group director married a call girl. Someone gasped. One manager looked away. A board member shifted uncomfortably. Tolani could not lift her head. Shame washed over her like a wave. She wanted the ground to open and swallow her. Jun turned slightly toward Minjun. Hyung, he said softly. I am not asking you to throw her away. I only want us to be careful. Maybe we keep her low. Maybe we send her away for some years until this cools down. For the company. For grandmother. All eyes turned to Minjun. He had not moved through the entire show. His face was calm, but his eyes were cold. Are you finished? He asked Jun. For now, Jun said. I only showed what I had to. If this leaks, it can destroy everything you built. Minjun leaned forward, hands on the table. Everyone listen well, he said. The room obeyed. The girl in that audio, he continued, was not a free woman making a happy choice. She was a young foreign staff whose ID was stolen by someone in this family. A man who put a loan in her name and then told her the only way out was to sell her body. He turned his gaze to Jun. That man was my nephew. Shock rippled around the table. Jun's face went white. Hyung, you are twisting. I am correcting, Minjun cut in. I took that debt because I knew what kind of trap it was. I met her once, in a room that should never have existed. That mistake is mine. I will carry it till I die. But do not stand here and act like she is the shame and you are the victim. He looked at the board, then at his grandmother. If the press ever hears this story, he said, they will not write call girl. They will write foreign woman tricked and sold by Kong Air. And they will be right. No one spoke. Finally, he stood. Tola, he said, turning to where she sat, half hiding by the wall. Come here. Her legs felt like wood, but she stood and walked to his side. He took her hand in front of everyone. This is my wife, he said. Anyone who insults her insults me. Anyone who spreads this story without the full truth should prepare to leave this company. His voice never rose, but every word landed like weight. Then he faced Jun one last time. You wanted a public attack, he said quietly. You have just started a public war. And everyone in that room knew. The meeting ended, but nobody moved at first. Tolani's hand was still in Minjun's. She could feel his grip, steady and firm, like he was anchoring her to the floor. Meeting is over, he said. Everyone returned to work. And if anyone has questions, ask me directly, not the gossip channel. Chairs scraped. People filed out in silence. Some bowed quickly to Madam Kong. Nobody looked Tolani in the eye. When the room was almost empty, only 4 people remained. Madam Kong. Minjun. Jun. Tolani. The old woman spoke first. Everyone leave, she said to the last manager by the door. Close it behind you. The door shut with a soft click. Madam Kong turned to Jun. Is what he said true? She asked. Did you put a loan in this girl's name and push her into that night? Jun licked his lips. Halmione, it was not like that. She agreed. You heard the audio. Nobody forced her. Answer my question, she cut in. Did you use her ID for a loan without telling her? Silence. Yes or no, she added. Yes, he muttered at last. Tolani closed her eyes. And did you tell her the only way out was to sleep with a stranger? The old woman asked. He swallowed. I suggested it as an option. We were both in trouble. I was under pressure. I didn't force her to say yes. You built the cage and pointed at the door, Minjun said. That is still a cage. Madame Kong shook her head slowly. I raised you boys to be strong, she said. I did not raise you to sell people. Jun's voice sharpened. So now I am the only bad person here? What about Hyung? He still went to that room. He still took the deal. He is acting holy now because he married her. If anyone is dirty, we are both dirty together. Tolani's chest squeezed at his words. Minjun did not flinch. That night is my sin, he said quietly. I have never denied it. But I did not lie, and I did not trap her. You did. Jun laughed once bitter. You think the world cares about that difference? They will see her as cheap, and see you as a man who enjoys cheap things. And then they will look at me and say, is this not the same family? Exactly, Minjun replied. That is why I am cleaning it now, not hiding it. I will not let your fear rule this company. Jun's eyes flashed. So what now? You cut me off. You remove me from the team? You throw me out like trash, all because of this girl. Tolani opened her mouth, then closed it. This was not her fight to lead. From today, Minjun said, you are suspended from Kong Group until further notice. Your access to key files will be removed. You will not speak on behalf of this company anywhere. Jun stared at him. You can't do that. I just did, Minjun said. HR will receive the instruction in 1 hour. Jun turned to Madame Kong. Grandmother, say something. He is going too far. The old woman looked tired. You went too far first, she said. You touched a woman's life like it was nothing. You dragged our name into dirt and then tried to cover it by blaming her. If Minjun does not correct you, life will. Jun's voice broke. So you choose him over me. I choose the one who stands and says, I was wrong, she replied. Not the one who keeps adding wrong to wrong. Jun looked from his grandmother to his uncle, then to Tolani. You think this is finished? He said to her. You think being Madame Kong will save you everywhere? Tolani met his gaze. I don't need to be saved everywhere, she said quietly. I just need to stop letting you control my story. He scoffed, grabbed his phone, and walked out, slamming the door behind him. Silence settled. Tolani's hand was still in Minjun's. She gently pulled it back and bowed slightly. I am sorry, she whispered. Because of me. Stop, Minjun said. He did this, not you. Madame Kong stood up slowly and walked toward Tolani. For a moment, Tolani thought the woman would scold her. Instead, the old woman placed a light hand on her shoulder. You are not the shame here, she said. From today, if anyone wants to discuss this story, they will discuss it with me. Not behind you. Tolani's eyes filled with tears. She had walked into this family as a contract wife. But in this war between uncle and nephew, one thing became clear. Someone had finally chosen her, not as a tool, not as a mistake, but as a person worth standing beside, even when the whole room knew her worst night. The week after Jun's suspension felt heavy. People at work moved more carefully. Some were suddenly polite to Tolani. Others avoided eye contact. No one spoke openly about the meeting, but the silence carried the memory. Whenever she passed the strategy floor, Jun's empty desk stared back at her like a question. One evening, after work, she sat in Nina's room, hugging a pillow. This house, this company, this family, Tolani said. Everywhere I turn, his name is there. Jun. And now, because of me, he is out. Because of you? Nina asked. You didn't record that audio. You didn't send that mail. He did. He is still their blood, Tolani replied. I feel like I came in and cut a line they had since birth. Nina looked at her carefully. If you leave now, will things fix themselves? Will he suddenly become a better person? Tolani was quiet. No, she said at last. Then don't carry what is not your own, Nina answered. You married a man who is trying to stand right. If you want to leave, it should be because you don't want this life, not because you feel guilty for his decisions. Later that night, Tolani stood outside Minjun's study. The door was half open. He sat at his desk, jacket off, shirt sleeves rolled up, eyes on his laptop. There was a small tightness around his mouth he didn't show in public. She knocked lightly. He looked up. Come in. She stepped inside and closed the door. Am I disturbing you? She asked. No, he said. Sit. She sat on the chair across from him. Her hands rested on her knees. How are you? He asked. I should ask you that, she said. You fought your nephew and some board members today because of me. He shook his head. I fought them because they were wrong. Your name was only the place they showed it. She took a breath. I've been thinking, she said. Since we signed that contract. Since the wedding. Since the meeting. About what? He asked. About leaving, she replied. He stilled. Leaving where? This house, she said. This marriage. This company, if it will help. I can't keep watching your family split because of a deal we made. His eyes did not soften, but they focused on her more. You think walking away will fix my family? He asked. It might calm things, she said. They will stop saying you chose me over them. Jun will stop using me as weapon. Your grandmother will rest. You can find someone cleaner, easier, with no story attached. He leaned back slowly. And what about you? He asked. If you leave, what happens to you? Tolani gave a small, tired smile. I will survive. Find another job, maybe in a smaller place. Share a room with Nina again. Start from zero. At least nobody will say I came here to scatter your house. He was silent for a moment. Then he said, You still think you are the problem. Aren't I? She asked. No, he replied. The problem is a man who thinks he can do anything and hide under family. The problem is a company that prefers rumors to truth. You are not the virus. You are the mirror. She looked down. The mirror is still the one they want to break. He folded his hands. Tola, he said quietly, if you truly want to leave because you cannot stand this life, I will not chain you here. I will end the contract, make sure you are safe, help you start again. I owe you at least that much. Her chest tightened. But I am not pushing you out, he continued. I did not marry you to use you and discard you when it becomes hard. I am not Jun. She lifted her eyes. So what do you want? She asked. If there was no contract, no deal, no pressure, what do you really want with me? He held her gaze. I want you to stay, he said. Not as a shield. Not as a tool. As my wife. I know our start was twisted. I know you are still healing. But I don't want this marriage to end, even if the contract ends. Her throat felt tight. You are saying this now, she whispered. What if one day you change your mind? Then that day we will talk again, he replied. But today this is my choice. I choose you. Not out of pity. Out of full mind. The room felt smaller. Tolani thought of Jun's angry face. Of Madame Kang's hand on her shoulder. Of staff whispers. Of Nina's words. If you leave, it should be because you don't want this life, not because you feel guilty. She took a slow breath. I don't know if I am ready to stay as wife in the full sense, she said honestly. My heart is still confused. But I am not ready to run either. That is enough for now, he said. Stay. We will walk the rest step by step. No rush. She nodded. Then my choice, she said softly, for today is to remain here. Not as a prisoner. As someone who is still deciding, but not escaping. For the first time that night, his shoulders relaxed a little. Good, he said. Then we keep building. When she left the study, Tolani knew the war outside was not over. But inside herself, one battle had shifted. She was no longer staying only because of a contract or a debt. She was staying because deep down she wanted to see where this strange, broken story with Minjun would lead. After that night in the study, something shifted. They did not suddenly become a normal couple. There were no sudden kisses, no I love you in the hallway. Life continued with the same routine, work, dinner, short talks. But the silence between them felt different. When they walked side by side, Tolani no longer felt like a guest. She felt like someone who had chosen to be there, even if her heart was still unsure. Then her body betrayed her. One afternoon at work, as she stood to take a file to another desk, the room tilted. Her vision blurred. She grabbed the edge of the table, but her fingers slipped. The last thing she heard was someone shouting her name. When she opened her eyes again, she was in a quiet room. A nurse stood near her, checking a chart. Minjun was on the other side, jacket off, tie gone, eyes fixed on her face. She's awake, the nurse said. Tolani tried to sit up. I'm fine, she said quickly. You fainted, Minjun replied. His voice was calm, but his eyes were not. You are not fine. The nurse spoke gently. Your body is tired. Stress, lack of rest, maybe not eating well. The tests are mostly okay, but you need to slow down. Tolani nodded, embarrassed. I will try. After the nurse left, the room felt too quiet. You should have told me you were not feeling well, Minjun said. I didn't know it was this bad, she answered. I just felt tired. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees. Tola, he said softly. You don't have to pretend to be strong all the time. Not here. Not with me. Her throat tightened. I'm sorry I scared you. He let out a breath. I was in a meeting when they called. For a moment, I thought. I don't even know what I thought. I just ran. She looked at him. His hair was slightly messy, like he had dragged his hand through it too many times. His eyes had dark circles. You look more tired than me, she said quietly. He gave a small, humorless smile. Maybe we are competing. There was a pause. Why? She asked. Why did you run like that? You could have sent a driver. A secretary. Anyone. He looked at her for a long moment, as if deciding something inside himself. Because it's you, he said. And because somewhere along the line, this stopped being just contract. Her heart stumbled. What do you mean? She whispered. He straightened. When we started, he said, I told myself it was only a deal. A way to fix my family problem, clean a mistake, and protect you. But every day it changed. How? She asked, barely breathing. The way you greet my grandmother, he said. The way you respect staff, even the rude ones. The way you carry shame that is not yours and still show up at work. The way you laugh with Nina on the phone. The way you thank the driver every single time, even when you are sad. He swallowed. I find myself waiting to hear your key at the door, he continued. I check my phone for your short messages. I watch your seat at the table. When you are quiet, I feel uneasy. When you smile, I feel relieved. Tolani's eyes filled. Minjun, she began. He shook his head slightly. Let me finish, he said. I don't want you to think this is pity. It's not. I respect you. I admire you. I am attached to you. In a way that has nothing to do with contracts or deals or guilt. He held her gaze. I am falling in love with you, Tola, he said. Maybe I already fell. I don't know the exact day. I just know that when I saw you on that floor today, I felt like someone was cutting air from my chest. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Nobody has ever said it to me like that, she whispered. Not even Jun. He promised future. You are talking about now. He looked almost afraid. If you don't feel the same, I won't force you. I just couldn't keep acting like my feelings are still inside some business plan. She laughed weakly through her tears. I was trying not to feel anything, she said. I told myself this was just a safe place. A bridge. A pause in my life. But every time you defended me, every time you sat at the table and listened, every time you called me Tola in that soft way, something shifted. She wiped her face with the back of her hand. I am scared, she admitted. But I am also not empty. When I think of you, I feel warm and afraid at the same time. Maybe that is also a kind of love. He reached for her hand, very slowly, as if giving her time to pull away. She didn't. Their fingers laced together. So what do we do with this? She asked, voice small. He squeezed her hand gently. We don't rush, he said. We don't pretend it's not there. We just walk with it, one day at a time, as husband and wife, not just contract partners. She exhaled, a shaky breath that felt like letting go of a heavy load. Then let this be our new rule, she said. No more love in secret. If it grows, we say it. If it hurts, we say it. He nodded. Agreed, he said. No more pretending. In that quiet room, with no audience and no papers on the table, their marriage shifted again. From a house of rules and protection, to a place where both their hearts had finally spoken out loud. Tolani was discharged the next day. The doctor gave simple advice. Rest more, eat well, reduce stress. Minjun listened like someone receiving a serious report. He carried her bag himself, even though it was light. At home, Madame Kong waited in the living room. You scared me, the old woman said. First company drama, now hospital. Is this how you people plan to live long? Tolani bowed her head. I am sorry, Halmiani. Sorry cannot fix everything, the old woman replied. But you are still here, so we move. Later, in their room, Minjun sat on the chair while Tolani lay on the bed. We can't live like this, he said. Always reacting. Jun moves, we answer. Rumor starts, we defend. It is time we clean this mess properly. How? She asked. I feel like I am always one step behind what he has done. We start with truth, he said. Not half-truth, not silence. Full truth. To the people who matter. The next day, he sent a message to the board and senior managers. Closed-door session. No recording. No phones. Mandatory. He also spoke to HR. I want a clear policy about harassment and rumor, he said. Written. Shared. Anyone who attacks staff based on past mistakes will face discipline. In the evening, he talked to Tolani. Tomorrow, I will tell them everything, he said. The loan. The room. My part. Your part. Jun's part. I won't let them hold it over you again. She shook her head. They will look at you differently. They already do, he replied. Let them look with full eyes, not half. She swallowed. What about me? Do you want me there? Yes, he said. But only if you want it. You have the right to sit in the room where your name is discussed. You also have the right to stay out if it is too much. She thought for a long time. I'll go, she said at last. I'm tired of hiding behind closed doors. The next day, the room felt smaller than before. Phones were collected. Doors were locked. Only key people sat at the table. Tolani sat beside Minjun, hands folded in her lap. He spoke first. You already saw part of the story, he said. Today, I will give you the whole thing. Not to beg for pity. To close this chapter. He told it in simple lines. How Jun used Tolani's ID. How the loan was signed without her knowledge. How she was cornered into one night as solution. How he, Minjun, agreed to the deal and cleared the debt. How he later chose to marry her, not to cover the scandal, but to protect and stand with her fully. He did not leave out his own shame. I am not innocent, he said. I took what should never have been offered. I regret it, but I will not let you drag her name alone through the mud while mine stays clean. A board member looked at Tolani. Do you agree with this version? He asked. Tolani's heart pounded, but her voice was steady. Yes, she said. I am not proud of that night. But I was not playing. I was scared. I thought my whole life here would end if I refused. I am trying to live better now. I just want space to do that. The room was quiet. Madame Kong cleared her throat. I am an old woman, she said. I have seen many dirty things in rich houses. Most of them were swept under rugs. This one is on the table. I prefer it this way. If you will respect my grandson as your director, you will respect his wife. If you cannot, you are free to leave this company. One senior manager spoke. Director Nim, he said, thank you for telling us yourself. For me, the matter is closed. If it comes up outside, we will answer it with full truth or not at all. One by one, others nodded. When the meeting ended, Tolani walked out with her head a little higher. Later, in the smaller staff rooms, HR shared the new policy about gossip and bullying. People read the lines and looked at each other. The message was clear. This company would not be a playground for Jun's kind of games again. That night, as Tolani and Minjun sat in the living room, he looked at her. Today, we stopped running from the story, he said. We faced it. I was shaking inside, she admitted. But it felt freeing. He gave a small smile. Mess doesn't disappear by closing your eyes, he said. It disappears when you pick it up piece by piece and throw it away. She leaned back on the sofa and let out a slow breath. For the first time, when she thought of her past, she did not only see shame. She also saw two people standing in a room full of power, telling the truth without bowing their heads. The truth meeting changed something deep in Kong Group. People still whispered, but the whispers were different now. Before, it was, did you hear what she did? Now it was, did you hear what he did to her? Jun tried to act like nothing had shifted. He still came to the building for a few days, walking in with his old pride, even though HR had already sent him his suspension letter. He said he was just visiting, just checking on work. But doors that used to open for him started to close. One afternoon, he walked into a small meeting uninvited. The manager stopped mid-sentence and looked at him. Team lead Kong, the man said, this is a director-level review. You are not on this list anymore. Jun forced a smile. I built half of these strategies. The manager did not smile back. And Director Nim decided who will carry them forward. Please leave. The words stung more than he expected. At home, it was worse. He tried to sit at the table like before, but Madame Kong sent his food to his room instead. Until your heart resets, she said. I will not watch you throw eyes at that girl like she killed you. You built this trouble yourself. He went out more, staying late, drinking with people who still wanted his money but not his problems. One night, drunk and angry, he called Tolani. She saw his name flash on her phone and almost rejected it, but then remembered her promise to herself. No more running. She picked. What do you want, Jun? She asked. You are happy now, ABI? He slurred in English. Big madam. Director's wife. Whole company clapping for you. This call is not healthy, she said. You should sleep. You think you won, he continued. You made me lose my position. You turned my uncle against me. You made grandmother see me as devil. Tolani sighed. You did those things yourself. I only stopped covering you. There was a pause. You really don't miss me at all? He asked, voice suddenly small. Not even the old times? She closed her eyes. I miss the girl I was before you used me, she said softly. Not you. He laughed, but it sounded broken. Enjoy your new life, he said. Let's see how long it lasts. He cut the call. The next hit came from outside. News did not explode like a scandal, but a small business blog picked up a hint of the story from an ex-staff who liked drama. They wrote a short piece about internal ethics issues and nepotism and abuse of power by a younger Kong heir. No names, but enough detail for people in the circle to know. Minjun acted fast. Legal sent a firm letter. HR launched a formal investigation into Jun's past deals, not just the one with Tolani. Old complaints came up, small things he had brushed aside, staff he had bullied, numbers he had twisted to make himself look good. Piece by piece, a pattern appeared. At a final internal hearing, Jun sat opposite a panel. You will step down from your role fully, one board member said. No more access. No more title. This is my family's company, Jun replied. You can't erase me. You erased yourself when you forgot that power is not a toy, the man said. After the meeting, Jun walked out of the building, no staff badge on his shirt. Just a plain, angry man carrying a box of his things. Tolani watched from a high window. Her chest felt strange, light and heavy at the same time. That night, she found him waiting by the street near the house gate, leaning on his car. The driver slowed. Do you want to stop? The driver asked. Yes, she said. For 1 minute. She stepped out. The wind carried city noise, but between them there was only silence. You got what you wanted, he said. I'm out. I never asked for that, she replied. All I wanted was for you to stop holding my life like a rope in your hand. He looked at her, eyes tired. Do you hate me that much? He asked. She shook her head. I don't have space for hate anymore, she said. I just don't belong to you. Not my body. Not my name. Not my story. He swallowed. Tell them I'm not all bad, he muttered. I will tell them the truth, she said. All of it. The good, the bad, the parts one loved, and the parts that broke me. That is all I owe you now. He gave a weak, crooked smile. You used to be my safe place, he said. You burned it, she answered gently. I built a new one. She got back into the car. As they drove away, Tolani looked straight ahead. Jun had finally fallen, not because she pushed him, but because his own choices caught up with him. And for the first time since she met him, his fall was not dragging her down with him. Days turned to weeks. Work settled. The noise around Jun's exit faded. People had new targets, new worries. Kong Group moved on. Tolani did too. She still had hard days, but the constant tightness in her chest was gone. She could walk past the strategy floor without feeling small. She could sit at dinner and taste her food. One evening, as she cleared the table with a house staff, Madame Kong called her. Sit, child, the old woman said. I want to ask you something. Tolani wiped her hands and sat. Are you happy here? Madame Kong asked. Not comfortable. Happy. Tolani thought for a moment. I am not perfect, she said. I still remember bad things. I still fear some days. But when I look at where I came from, and where I am now, yes. I am growing happy. The old woman nodded. And my grandson, she asked. He is less stiff these days. He laughs small, but he laughs. Is that your work? Tolani smiled. Maybe we are working on each other. Good, Madame Kong said. Then this is my word. Whatever people say about how you started, I have seen how you are walking now. I accept you as family fully. Not contract. Family. The words sank deep into Tolani's heart like warm water. Later that night, in their room, Minjun stood by the window, looking at some papers. She walked in and closed the door. Your grandmother promoted me, she said lightly. He turned. Promoted? Yes, Tolani replied. From contract to family. His eyes softened. She told you that? Tolani nodded. She said I am not just here on paper. He put the file aside. That makes 2 of us, he said. She tilted her head. 2 of us? He walked closer. Our 1-year agreement, he said. Do you remember? We said we would review after a year. Stay or go. I remember, she replied quietly. I have been counting without meaning to. He took a slow breath. That year is almost finished, he said. I don't want to wait for the last day to talk. Her heart beat faster. Okay, he looked straight into her eyes. I don't want a contract wife anymore, he said. I want a real one. No expiry date. No business terms. Just you and me choosing each other. Her fingers curled at her sides. What does that mean? She asked, though she already knew. It means, he said, I want us to renew this marriage. Not as a cover. As a choice. A fresh start. We can sign again, with new terms in our hearts, not on paper. Tolani swallowed. What are the new terms? He smiled a little. Simple, he said. We stay. We fight fair. We tell the truth. We grow. We don't run when it gets hard. And we love each other without hiding. Her eyes filled. You are sure, she whispered. I am still not the easiest story to stand beside. I don't want an easy story, he replied. I want ours. Tears slid down her cheeks. She did not wipe them. Then I also have terms, she said, voice shaking. No silent walls between us. If you are hurting, you tell me. If I am scared, I tell you. We don't let outsiders write our script again. Agreed, he said softly. Then my answer is yes, she finished. I want to stay. Not because I am afraid to start again. Because I want my future to have your name inside it. A few days later, they went to sign a simple renewal at the office where couples registered. No crowd. No drama. Just the two of them, Nina and Madame Kong. Again, the clerk asked, surprised. Already married, but signing fresh? Yes, Minjun said. We are just making something clear. This time, when the papers were placed in front of her, Tolani did not feel heavy. She wrote her name with steady hands. After they stepped outside, Nina squeezed her. Second wedding, Nina said. But this one is sweet. Tolani laughed, real and full. On the way home, in the car, she leaned her head lightly on Minjun's shoulder. He did not move away. So, she said, new marriage. He nodded. New start. Tolani thought of the girl who once stood outside a door, hearing a man call her someone I used. Then she looked at the man beside her now, who had seen her worst night, fought for her, and still said, I choose you. Her life was not clean at the beginning. But this chapter, this new marriage, was one she had written with open eyes and a willing heart. And for the first time, the word wife did not scare her. It felt like home. Thank you so much for staying with us till the very end of this story. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear the lessons you learned and your thoughts on how we can continue improving to give you the very best. Here at Munlet Stories, every tale is crafted with passion, care, and dedication. Our mission is simple: to entertain, inspire, and connect us all across cultures and hearts. So, keep the conversation alive in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Till next time, we are Munlet Stories, bringing you amazing tales that touch hearts and spark imaginations. Stay blessed. Stay inspired. See you in the next story.